I made this chicken pot pie crock pot recipe, and it's literally my most favorite recipe ever in a crock pot, and I'm about to show you guys how to make it. Okay, back with the nice camera. I am actually making dinner. It is 2:53, but I'm making a slow cooker recipe, and obviously you gotta prep it beforehand. And this one is pretty fast, and it's one of our favorites. I will link the recipe below. It is so good. Anytime I go to like a function or something, I make this, I bring it, and everyone always has good things to say about it. People ask me for the recipe, and it always delivers. So good, so delicious, so easy because it's a crock pot, and once you're ready for dinner, you just eat it. So the prepping is not so bad, but I'll show you every step of the way what to do. So let's make some chicken pot pie in a slow cooker. Okay, so this is the slow cooker that I have. It's crock pot, surprise there. I always laugh when people say like, oh, do you have a crock pot recipe? Pretty sure crock pot is a brand, so you're supposed to be slow cooker, but everyone uses crock pot, I guess. Let's get all the ingredients. Okay, so if you watched my Aldi grocery shopping with me, this is a chicken that I got, and it's frozen. I didn't thaw it out. I honestly should have yesterday, but when I forget to thaw chicken out, I defrost it in the microwave, just so it could like cook a little bit faster. Because this recipe calls for 4 hours on high, but it being 3 right now, 4 hours would make it 7. Typically we like to eat a little bit earlier than 7, like 6:30 latest, so definitely gonna help the thawing process. I usually do 1 chicken breast per person. It ends up being a pretty good amount, so I'm gonna pop this in the microwave on the defrost mode. Okay, so while that's thawing out, I'm gonna get all the other ingredients. Super simple. You just need chicken breast, frozen veggie mix, minced garlic, thyme, parsley, ground pepper, and the magic secret ingredient is chicken bouillon. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I used to have the cubes, and this recipe says like 2 cubes, but I couldn't find the cubes. I think I did get this from Aldi, and I just scoop it and I kind of put a little extra piece. It definitely makes it smell good. Tastes good. Ooh, it smells really good. Okay, so I'm going to put the exact measurements just to show you guys, but sometimes I just kind of like eyeball it. But yeah. Put this back in. Okay, so they're not as frozen, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them in. And I only did 2, so these will cook really fast. I've done it before where I've like filled the bottom. Okay, so I have my laptop here with the recipe because I'm using the phone for the second angle. So it says 1 cup of water, 1 cup of water, add the veggies, just straight up the frozen veggies right in there. It actually says half a bag, but I love veggies, and I feel like 1 bag is better than half of a bag. And then the spices, so let's do 1 tablespoon of parsley. So I have this one. I don't have actual parsley. I've always only used this parsley. Oh, the kids are sleeping, by the way. That's why you don't hear a bunch of noises. Half a teaspoon of black pepper. This is 1 teaspoon, so I'll just kind of go halfway. Put that there. It's half a teaspoon of dried thyme. This is, or thyme. Did I say that wrong? I'm pretty sure it's thyme, but I said thyme just now. It's embarrassing. 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. See, in my thing, I told you I love this from Aldi because it is just so much easier. It smells so good. I just smell everything. Do you guys smell things when you make it? It's so good. So half a teaspoon, no. This was 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. So I always cheat. This is obviously more than 1 teaspoon. But come on. Y'all know garlic tastes good. So I always do more than what they call for. And then 2 chicken bouillon cubes, if I'm saying that right. So I kind of think like a teaspoon is equivalent to 1 cube. So I'm just gonna go in there. 1. And like I said, it's one of those things that add a lot of flavor. Let me actually go ahead and just like mix it. It's so frozen that it just kind of won't move. Okay. So add the water, veggies, spices, bouillon cubes, and garlic. Go on high for 4 hours. Okay, so that's the easy part. It actually is not the end. You'll see later. I'll come back maybe in like 2 hours, and we actually need biscuits for this recipe. Matt is actually going to go to Target a little later to pick some stuff up, including the biscuits, and you'll see later there's actually something that involves the stove, the oven, and the stove top. So it's not one of those dump and go and then eat meals, but it's a worth it meal. It's still easy, it's just still involves more than just like dumping and then going and eating or whatever. But I'll show you guys that part in like 2 or so hours. But this for now, we're gonna put on high for 4 hours. So I'll be back in like 2 hours. Right now it's 3:04, so maybe at 5 we'll be back. Yo. Don't even. Stop. Stop. Oh. It's always way more intense with the biscuit. Okay, so it is 5:55, a little later than I thought, but Matt went to Target for me, which is awesome. And I literally cannot open these biscuits. The cinnamon rolls are different. Sorry about the sound. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in the oven. It's just a regular can of biscuits, and of course I threw away the paper, but we gotta wait for these to cook before we can move on to the next step. Okay, so the biscuits are almost done, so now I'm gonna do the stovetop part. So this part, it doesn't take that long, but it is a step, an extra step like I said. So it says in a small saucepan, heat the butter over medium heat. So it needs 4 tablespoons of butter. Okay, so I'm gonna heat this up. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put this on the pan. The flour, so it's 4 tablespoons of flour. Okay, the biscuits just went off. Okay, so I'm gonna let these cool off over here a little bit. And then while that's cooking, I'm gonna get my tablespoon. 4 tablespoons of butter, but you gotta let the butter melt first. So let's let this melt. And then we get the milk ready because we have to add milk as well. So it says whole milk. Sometimes we'll do oat milk, sometimes we'll do whole milk. We'll just see what we have. I'm just gonna do the left remaining milk that's in here, so there's not that much, and we got some new milk today. I've actually only really ever used oat milk, but whole milk is probably better. Oh my gosh, that's perfect! Don't you just love when that happens, guys? Literally the exact amount that I needed. Although it's very bubbly. Yay! Oh. Okay, and just so I can multitask, because it's taking a while to melt, I'm going to just go ahead and cut the biscuits. So you have to cut them anyways. But this is honestly what makes the whole thing taste so good. This would not be the same without these. I feel like it's kind of like a chicken and dumplings recipe. So like, oh, look at that heat come off. So I like to cut them into like pieces like that. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, this is what makes it so good. And I've done different types. I've done like the flaky biscuits too. Like it really doesn't matter which one you do. But yeah, I like to cut them in half because they're kind of thick. All right, so I cut all the biscuits. And now the butter is melted. So then it says add 4 tablespoons of flour. 1, 2, 3, 4. Use my silicone spoon. Okay. So I'm gonna mix it, and then I gotta add the milk. All right, so I'm like getting everywhere. This is supposed to end up being really like thick, and we're not mixing that in the crock pot, which makes it that much better. So whisk off and heat until it bubbles and thickens. Yeah, so it's become really thick. See, it's very liquidy right now, but it ends up getting really thick. So I'm gonna just remain here until it thickens. It's already starting to thicken. It's almost like, it almost looks like mashed potatoes a little bit. Like really liquidy mashed potatoes. Look at that. You see it thickening? It literally looks like mashed potatoes. Or like pancake batter. So I'm just gonna show you guys what the crock pot looks like. Let's see if it'll let me put it on here. Okay. So I'm gonna show you obviously the overhead view. Woo! Hopefully there's not too much steam. Okay, it smells really good. Obviously the chicken is all the way cooked through, and then it becomes really easy to mash. Like, oh my gosh, look at that. Like, you don't need to get like forks to shred it. Like, honestly, with my tongs, they shred really, really well. Okay, so now it says to add this into here. And then you mix it. So it becomes like a lot creamier. Oh, looks so good. So even just this, it's like super creamy. It almost looks like a soup. I bet you could actually eat this as a soup. Oh, almost touched it. But we're not doing that. We're gonna add these bad boys. This is literally what makes the recipe so good. I've seen people just lay the biscuit, not even cutting it, and just lay it on top. But I like to mix everything so that it's well combined. Oh my gosh, guys. This is what it ends up looking like, if you can see it. Okay, let me just go ahead and try a piece. Obviously it's hot, so let me have a look. It's just so warm and buttery and good. Perfect seasoning. Oh my gosh. This is my favorite crock pot recipe ever. Alright, thank you so much for watching. This is my first crock pot recipe. If you enjoyed it, let me know, because I love using my crock pot. I really do. It's just one of those easier meals. It's just something you gotta think about ahead of time. And if you guys have any good ones, please leave them down below. And if you enjoy this, let me know. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.